My name is Lori Song, 65 years old, and I was born and raised here in Los Angeles. I'm mixed race, Korean and Japanese. My parents are from Hawaii, so I'm a fourth generation person on both sides. So I pretty much don't have touch with either Korean culture or Japanese. My folks came here from the islands in the late 50s, so I was born here. I have a twin brother. We look alike. I have a younger brother. My gender identity has come to be as female because years ago I was a cross dresser, and way back when we were called transvestites. But the language changes, and over decades, I realized that I'm trans, and so I started HRT, hormone replacement therapy, 3 years ago. But because I started so late in life, the physical changes are really slow to happen. The mental, psychological, emotional changes happen faster. So I feel a lot better than I used to. Over the years, my curiosity just got more and more. So by the time I was like a teenager, I was with great trepidation buying my own undies, panties, bras, slips, shoes. I got a big fascination with shoes. At that time, it was heels. And I had girlfriends and things like that. But I started thinking like we'd be in bed, and I started thinking, what might it feel like to be her? Just a curiosity thing, because I thought I'll never know. That's something I can never experience. So I was dabbling with just partial clothing, and then I got married, and my ex we were the same height, weight, everything. She was beautiful. She was a mixed race woman. One day she was at work and I came home early, and so I thought, well, now's my big chance to go fully dressed from head to toe. When I felt that whole feeling and I looked at myself in the mirror, of course I didn't look from the neck up. I couldn't believe it. It was like such a transformative. It changed my life. Just the way it felt. It felt so natural. It was just like this sense of release and who I maybe could be. Of course, I wouldn't dress like that every day. And now at my age, I want to just blend in and be like a, older Asian woman going to H Mart or whatever. So yeah, that was my condensed history of cross-dressing. It was all a shield to protect myself from who I really was. I knew I was different even pre-teen. I knew, but there wasn't the language, and there certainly wasn't the dialogue. Going into my teenage years, I knew I had to hide that because that was just something that wouldn't be understood. It wouldn't be accepted, and I just couldn't. I couldn't bear that. Teenage years are hard. It doesn't matter what the era is. It's always hard. So I hid myself away um, until actually I was in my 40s, somewhere around there. And then I got back into cross dressing and had a lot of fun with that, had a circle of friends. And then I thought, well, I'll just give it a last try to be a man, have a family and pop out two kids, a boy and a girl. And that didn't work, but that cemented it. And I knew then that I couldn't do that I wouldn't do that. And so that's when my trans journey began. About 7, 8 years ago, I got on Facebook, and I used it as a means to come out gently. Everyone's on Facebook. I posted some pictures of me all dressed and made up, and used my real name, Lori. And so the word gets out. And that was just like an intro to coming out in person. which I did over the next, I'm still doing it today. That process is ongoing. I've had very few rejections. The most, the reaction that is fairly common with my relatives, like my dad and my brothers, they just don't want to talk about it. They won't initiate conversation. So if I say something like, "Yeah, I got this event coming up," they're like, "Oh, cool." They don't show an interest. All the kids who they're my friends' children and my immediate family's kids, because they're young and the world is a different place for them, they're accepting. Yeah, they call me Auntie and Auntie Lori. Yeah, I just never had the courage to come out to my grandparents when they were alive because I was afraid of their reaction, and I wish I had more courage. I try not to put too much pressure on myself. My coming out with people, different people, no matter who they might be, happens pretty much organically. If it feels like the right moment, then I open up to them. I've just finished a 4-week writer's workshop. I like to read, but I don't know the first thing about writing. So I was hoping to get just the basics of uh, possibly telling my story as an Asian American transgender person. Just because in the first class, the teacher stressed to us that if we don't tell our stories when we die, they're gone. I feel a certain obligation because all the people that helped me are kind of, I feel like, leading me to a point where I can help other people. It's almost like I'm getting a small platform to spread a little education, little understanding, maybe a little compassion. The times we're living in, I feel strongly that with the book banning and the rise of the Christian church, I'm talking about the far right. I have to try to counter that through education and through communication because I grew up reading and I knew about the history of Germany, book burnings, and one of my favorite stories was Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 about book burning in an alternative place. And I just can't believe what's happening. Burning books, telling teachers and librarians what they can and cannot teach. It's just, it's beyond comprehension to me. And all this affects all of us in society, but in particular the LGBTQ community or any marginalized community. In these polarized times, a lot of people feel that it's okay to hurt us, to kill us, to act out against us, or anyone they feel is different or that they don't like. You don't own the world. You don't own us. You don't even own yourself because look at the way you're behaving. I pity them in a way, but I can't change them, and I don't want to change them. I just would like them to try to listen, even if it's just with one ear, and then maybe something will go there in their little washing machine, and it either gets spit out or maybe they'll think, hey, that was a different thought. Just a general word of advice. Try to be brave enough to just do your thing because time is going to go so fast. I thought that I had all the time in the world, but I don't. If you're a young person or if you're a middle-aged or older person, you got to just go for it. My journey it certainly hasn't been straight line. It's just been like a butterfly. You know how they just go everywhere like that? That doesn't matter whether you're a butterfly or you're like just a bull. As long as you keep thinking about what you're hoping to do, what you want to do. Young people, I think, should know that nothing that's good comes easy. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. It takes a lot of pain. It takes a lot of pain of all kinds, mental, physical, spiritual, psychological. It's just, it can really fuck you up like bad. So just to try to get a circle of friends, confidants, and the circle could just be one. It could be a dog or a cat. Just someone that gets you and that'll support you. That to me is so important. My name is Lori Song, and this is my Korean American story.